Hi, welcome to Business Influencers. My name is Chris Salem, your host. We welcome you here if it's your first time here at TALRadio and here at Business Influencers. Again, we hope you have had a great experience. If you have been frequenting Business Influencers each week as we bring in subject matter experts sharing their words of wisdom and insights to help elevate your personal and business influence to the next level. You can find us not only on TALRadio, but also on Spotify, Apple, and our video version on YouTube. So we highly encourage you to check us out on any of those four platforms, what best suits you in terms of getting the content that you require to raise your level of influence to the next level. Today's show is being brought to you today by Alumni Direct. Alumni Direct is a new social media community platform dedicated to bringing alumni together from all different generational types and an opportunity to meet people for the first time. Now, this is a membership program, meaning that it takes all the noise out of social media, allowing you to generate genuine and authentic relationships with the people you choose to interact and communicate with. If you'd like more information about Alumni Direct, check them out at alumnidirect.com. That's alumnidirect.com. Well, we got a great show for you today. We're going to be talking about AI in real estate or franchising, but we're going to probably have more of an emphasis on real estate. But this is going to be a great topic because AI has been the buzz since last year and how it's being integrated in so many facets of business. And then particularly, we're going to be concentrating in the area of real estate. And we happen to have as a subject matter expert today, William Flippin Jr. He has been recognized by Best Agents USA as the top 2023 top agent. So with the focus in residential and commercial properties, he is a trusted and reliable realtor currently employed at Michelle Humes Group, brokered by eXp in Peachtree City, Georgia. And he receives clients from all over Atlanta and the metro area. And when he's working with clients, he's very thorough in consulting and finding tailored solutions for each unique situation. Now, recognizing that every case is different, William approaches each client with a listening ear and expertly guides them towards the best possible outcome. Collaboration is a key driver for William as he believes in working with clients and other professionals in the real estate industry that leads to the most successful results. Now, I could keep going on and on, but this is a man who definitely demonstrates what it takes to be a trusted advisor in his craft, and no coincidence why he was recognized as as the top agent in 2023 in the area of real estate. And without further ado, we welcome William Flippin Jr. to the show. William, how you doing today?
Christopher, it is just indeed a delight to be a part of this show. It's just already, I can feel your just love of people and just the betterment of society. So thank you for
Pleasure
allowing
to
me to
be
be
here.
here.
We are so blessed to have you here and love your values and everything you do to help people, especially when it's purchasing the most expensive thing they're going to be purchasing, right? Is a
Mhm.
house, other than a car, But so let's talk a little bit about AI. What AI,
Mhm.
in the real estate industry. A lot of things have been happening in real estate. Real estate, obviously, we've had interest rates going up, and
Mhm.
there seems
Mhm.
to be a lot of, I mean, it depends on the area, but a lot of stagnation, I think, for what I've heard
Mhm.
in the residential side. Maybe the commercial side might be slightly different. How is AI playing a role to kind of navigate some of the challenges right now that are happening in real estate?
Well, real estate is definitely a relationship business. The best realtors, I think, already have great relationships, sphere of influence. No matter how technology advances, those are the best realtors who already have connections and because it's also as you can imagine, when you make the oftentimes biggest investment of your life, besides marriage. Um, you know that you want somebody that you trust. And it's through a lot of times those you know or those who refer to people that you do trust. But I think that because of those who oftentimes think that you can find clients through prospecting and other means marketing, and a lot of people are successful with that, that AI has just catapulted that. I give you an example. What I found
Yeah.
out is that, like, when I Google my name now, I have one fifth of the hits that I used to. Google about 2 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, say that the most information that they will now gather is through not SEO systems like internet and those things, is through artificial intelligence. For a while, even with the industry of the church or whatever, 86% of those who go to establishments, restaurants through Yep will go through it through looking at a website. Right. If you had a great website, the better your website, the better you can get clientele and referrals and all of that. So it was a race to websites. Now the information has gotten so that it's AI with the data process. That's definitely in real estate. I think it's even correlated, honestly, to what is taking place with the National Association of Realtors, with the recent lawsuit and some of the things has taken place with some of the rules too. AI has played a big part in that reality.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And what do you see like, like right now with the landscape of real estate right now with this technology? Where do you see it going from here? Like, in terms of how it evolves. Everything is always evolving in some way, but especially now with this technology and helping to complement what they're doing.
On one hand, you could say those who partake or AI privy will win in this game, that it might replace the relationship sphere of influence. That's one thing. Or I think that definitely it would allow those to, okay, put prompts and instead of spending countless hours with transaction coordinators, so that's what I pay for in a brokerage, that AI can do that for you or write a good letter, or you can almost do most of the transactional things that we pay for in brokerages, traditional brokerages, on your own. So AI can be helpful perhaps with that. But also everybody, you're not the only one, unfortunately, who is looking and doing prompts and looking at information. So it's still competition within the AI world. I mean, it'll be AI first, and then the metaverse, and then other things. So I think we're still trying to see the
Yeah.
impact. But one thing we definitely know, this is what I predict, that we certainly have too. This was before the AI revolution. We have too many realtors for the demand, especially with part of the demand is getting approval, as you mentioned, with the high
Yes.
interest rates. So I do predict this, that in the next 28 months, there will be a reduction of real estate interest and even agents quitting, but definitely those who will become agents. I do predict that.
Got it. So you feel like the ones that really have been really committed to their craft, the ones that really go above and beyond, that have a track record, are the ones that obviously will, grow and sustain in the area of real estate, and the
Yes,
ones that
yes,
kind of were like, tiptoeing through it might,
yes.
might step out.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
just like with COVID. I started a new job, 7 months before, and I didn't have enough sweat equity. Those I think it was most successful during COVID with those who already had established relationships.
Yeah, yeah, it's so true. And what you just shared earlier, and I picked this up with you, is so evident with you, William. Like you are a relationship based person. AI, while it could help and it can complement. It's never, like I said, it's never gonna. I don't feel like anything will replace a person to person relationship, whether
Agreed.
it's with an alliance
Agreed.
partner, a mortgage broker, a lawyer, a CPA that might be referring business to you, or the actual people that you're helping to purchase something that's going to,
Hmm.
can be a big part of their lives and raising a family or whatever that may be.
Oh, absolutely. If when people say what is the secret to success, or I still say, even with the AI revolution, is relationships, relationships, relationships. Period. It's nothing like to be in community with others, and to not just for the purposes of networking, but just to look into their eyes, to feel the energy, and even is a different feel, for at least for me, with my personality. I'm really good with perception, than even Zoom. Even though you can see people, is the energy, is the feel.
Yeah.
It's the So I think that goes with all industries, particularly when it comes to real estate. And I think that and this is it's a different type of issue in the commercial sector too, where we do know that those are many people are consolidating big
Yeah.
commercial spaces, and if they don't consolidate, they're making them into different mixed use properties, and that really is housing, the same amount of land that would have been for 7 8 houses. Acreage is now housing, 600 700 apartment
Yeah.
units
Yeah.
for more than a house. So and you see that, I mean, in the major cities.
I see that right in my own backyard.
Yes.
The town that my son goes to high school in, recently in the last 2 years have put up these right in commercial zoned areas
Hmm.
where they're apartments, which normally this town would never usually have apartments. It was either homes, townhomes, maybe at that, but now have apartments, but they're built upon the lower level where
Hmm.
it could be a restaurant, it could be a laundromat, it can be whatever, it could be a commercial business, and
Hmm.
they're all
Hmm.
together, and I've
Yes.
seen that.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, absolutely. That's going to be more of it with in the consolidation of spaces. I mean, even I think Amazon and others, as you are seeing the ghost kitchens and others, is going to be consolidation where you don't need as much space, with the exception of housing. People are expanding
Yeah.
their homes because families are living together, grandparents are living, so they're expanding the homes but consolidating commercially. But if they're not consolidating, they're making different uses of the space.
Yes, exactly. Just a
Mhm.
reflection of what's happening, and with what's happening in the industry, what's happening in our economy, and just in general. Like,
Yes,
people are people making more, maybe, but we're spending just as much because the cost of living and
that's right.
stuff like that.
That's
And
right.
like you said, more people have to now kind of cohabitate together, families more than they've ever had in the
Hmm.
past.
Hmm. So now you see those who are not moving, rightfully so, not just because of the interest rates, but more remodeling,
Yeah.
where they are.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
I think the industries that are doing well now are the remodeling industries, bathtub remodeling, what have you, landscaping, because people are staying, not to deal with the hassle of that. What I'm starting to do even more is we have a company called Flip Smart Property Solutions that one of the things when you quote unquote flip properties, you want to have a great rehab team. Goes back to
Oh
relationships
yeah.
that you have, and also you need capital. So it's always been my getting back on that where you can buy houses from people and have those partners, and then of course you do it organically where you are the realtor, and then sell it that way based on the relationship, based on the working together in concert with your team, as opposed to farming and trying to find someone that you don't know.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And like I said, I mean that when it comes to if you're looking at real estate as an investment, you got to plan, you got to have a strategy. Like you
Yes.
said, you got to have a team in place where you have some control over what you can't control everything, obviously, but
Right. Right.
you can't control supplies and the price of things like that.
That's
But
true.
you can control who you work with and knowing what you can negotiate
Hmm.
in terms of
Hmm.
so you know how to know what where to buy at and what you can sell at to make your profits and so
Right.
on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. 2 years ago, it was lumber was at an all
Oh,
time
all time
high. It's just
high.
better
Yeah.
now. Yes. So you had to count the cost, if you will, of building and how that looked. But I do think that the Fed rates will drop next year or maybe the
That'll be
next
good. So
quarter.
that'll be good for the real estate industry and go because I know there's some realtors I know here have just it's been a tough year, or and I'm
Yes.
talking more 2023, but
Yes.
even part of lingering here in 2024, it's
Yes.
been very difficult. And in some areas are are going to be different than others, but for the most part, like here there's a lot of there's just a lot of people that would like to, and that's another thing, they would maybe like to sell, but
Hmm.
then but if you're gonna have to go somewhere. So
Hmm.
do you go
Hmm.
somewhere and you get now you're gonna pay just the same amount but get less?
Hmm.
Not to, so there's a lot of
Hmm.
factors like that, I guess you got to
Hmm.
look into.
And those who move and have that flexibility, even renting is becoming problematic.
Yeah.
First of all, it's not just based on your credit score. A lot of people have that to be qualified. It used to just be about qualification. Now it's about space,
Yeah.
availability. You have to be put on waiting lists of preferred choices if you want to be closer to the city. And older persons retired, what I'm trying to say, are selling their homes and going back to consolidation and going into the city so they can, walk to the store, those things. They don't have to deal with
Yep.
traffic. So you see that too as well. So those factors are all into it, not to have the drive and the commute. The suburbanization is now back into the city, no doubt
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. It's amazing like how you see these trends, like how
Yes.
like things shift. And so like based upon I know we were talking more about AI, but you know how AI is, but like where do you see like you mentioned real estate that you feel interest rates are going to adjust downward, that's going to be work favorably. That means more people might be looking to now buy a home, maybe consider moving now. Do you feel like the real estate prices will and now that a lot of them are at an all-time high, some people have come down just because they maybe they have to sell and they have no choice. But do you feel like the real estate's going to stay, like the values are going to stay, or they for the most part might adjust downward?
They will continue to go up
Yep.
or stay the same.
Yep.
But this is how the National Association of Realtors won.
Yep.
They want to make it's okay. The interest rates will never go back to four, even with great credit,
Yeah.
it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Maybe in a good world, 5.75, 6.2, maybe. But the NRA won by saying now you don't have to pay. That's why it's going to be a mass exodus of realtors. The commission, gentleman's agreement standard, 6%, 3% buyer, 3% seller. That was the standard. Of
Yes.
course, exclusive boutique, you could negotiate, and you could always negotiate, but that was the standard kind of,
Yes.
now that can be negotiated, especially on the seller's part, who wins. Now it gives them, especially with higher priced homes, 9 million, 8 million. If you that's a difference if you don't pay a commission of 3% and you pay 1.5%. That's a big difference.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And where do you see, like, I mean, with the real estate market, do you feel like just like the homes that are kind of in the middle are going to be the ones that obviously in demand, like some of the because remember I can remember back before the financial crash. I mean, all the
Yeah.
big McMansions they used to call them, like all the
Yeah.
big high end homes. And I live in an area where we have that, and but I've seen like more of the middle of the road, like those homes are the ones that are selling still even now, even though it's slower, but they are selling compared to the larger, more expensive homes. Yeah.
That's true. That's true because a lot of times the more expensive homes are more personalized too. Like Michael
Yeah.
Jordan can't sell his home for 12, 13 because it's so personalized. The middle, I think, might even suffer though, because it's a
Yep.
reason. The company that I'm with, the EXP, there,
Yep.
if you see the brands like EXP and what are they focusing on now? Luxury brands,
Okay, got
luxury
it.
brands, luxury brands. So I think that if a person is looking at an $18 million house, they probably could afford it, and
Oh yeah, absolutely.
the commission rate might not be life or death for them. But now a realtor may not target or care as much as the middle of the road, which is usually the case that you get because of the commission and say, okay, they're not able to negotiate a commission that is worth now. It was hard before of a $500,000 home. I would rather have one or two sales and just be competitive of 3 million homes. That's how
Yeah.
realtors are going to start thinking.
Yeah, that makes sense, and that's definitely manageable. Like you said, because there's always a market. There's going to be like you said, somebody's going to buy an $18 million home. It's not like they're going to be heavily like have to finance that. They're more likely have the money to
Yeah,
buy that home, if
right.
not outright. If they're buying a home like that type of
That's
thing.
true. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
No doubt about it. So I
yeah,
think that, what I like to do actually, going back to not just AI, is the consulting part. I like to see where you are. I love divorce listings. I love those in transition because it allows me to know that situations build the reason why you're selling. It could be estate sales. I haven't really got into that as I want to, but I want to always be there to understand that each situation is different. This is more, it's far more than buy and sell. It might be we have a growing family. We might be dealing with a divorce and we need to downsize or upsize or all kinds of that. I love to get into the reason and to help tailor with that. And that goes beyond AI. AI, you can put prompts all day, but AI doesn't hear the human story.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, so true. No, I love it. I love it. What are some other things that you could share with us, either if it's AI related, anything that you're seeing in the real estate market that you feel like, even from an investment standpoint, maybe we can touch on that, like for people that are looking to kind of dive in, is it still like, if it's a duplex or like something like obviously
Mhm.
that, you can get a multifamily, are those still relevant or other types of investments?
It is. I think the new trend too, going back to consolidation, I know I talked about consolidation with
Yeah.
commercial, is tiny homes, tiny anchored homes. So what do you do with the land? People want to feel a home. I think they rather have a tiny home or anchored home, let's say anchored home than to have a high rise on the 18th floor of a nice building with a nice view with at best 900 or 1100 feet
Very, very limited
square feet.
living space itself. Yeah,
Yeah,
except for the
even though you
view.
might have that with a tiny home, but it's the fact that it's a home. There's
Yeah.
something about that you can have freedom and go to that place appointed or those things. So that's happening too as well. And I like that movement where it's affordability that way too. Where those can say, okay, we don't need the space. We can still live comfortably because now people are using the spaces that they really do a more deliberate, just as comfortable with an 1,800 square foot place as we would if we had 12,000 feet. Because,
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
the people live in those houses, they don't utilize every room. It's
A
always a
lot of
few
rooms are
rooms.
just, yeah, they're kind of just open space and not
Right,
being
right.
like, yeah.
Right. So I see that as definitely a positive. And in fact, something that we will probably start gearing to a little bit more in my own entity of construction and those places and I'm glad you reminded me of that. But the thing that is looming, what I'm proud of, and it goes back to franchising, is that there will be a conference. I'm a franchise broker too in Atlanta, and it's a part of the Great American Franchise Expo with the franchise consulting company,
Yeah.
and they own it. They own this, and they go around the country. Like they were in Fort Lauderdale. Recently, they were in Dallas, and they will be in Atlanta. They come to Atlanta every year. First week in May, I think it's May 4th and 5th. And one of the things that I want to do is to get entrepreneurs together. I mean, it can be all around the country, but if you're in the Atlanta area, particularly if it's black, I say with tongue in cheek, minority. Entrepreneurs, and when I mean that, black, brown, yellow, that are interested in maybe having a booth. I can help with that, where they can tell more about their business. And what I'm looking for are those in the franchise industry, but also those who can consult and help those in business transition that oftentimes lead to franchising or entrepreneurship. So a broad range of entrepreneurship I'm interested in. It just doesn't have to be franchising. So how we
Yeah.
can work together, your journey, hearing your story, and putting it all together. Because I look at it holistically. That to me, real estate is not a separate entity. Franchise is not a separate entity. Of how do we work together? Because
Sure.
in the franchise industry and in the real estate industry, we're all still dealing with AI.
Yes.
You know,
Exactly. So
so
true.
yeah.
Wow, this is great, great information. I know we're getting towards the end of the show, and I'm looking forward to bringing you back on a future show because I love
Oh,
to
wonderful,
expand on
Christopher.
this.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what I would love to do, I want to thank you first of all, me personally, and on the behalf of TALRadio, you're taking the time out of your day to be with us here today. How can the audience get to know you better in terms of reaching out to you? Anything that you're up to, anything that
Sure.
you would like to provide them that could add value?
Thank you, Kristen, for this opportunity. I know the robust social media that you will highlight, and I appreciate that. Let me first of all say that. But I think the best way to reach out to me in light of what I just talked about with the franchise and what's coming up with the Great American Expo in Atlanta will be W Flippin. That's WFLIPPIN. A lot of people like to put E, but it's IN at the franchise consulting company, one word, dot com, dot com. Yes.
Yeah,
W
we'll make
Flippin.
sure that that gets in the show notes as well. So that's great. Yeah.
Yes.
Anything else you'd like to share in terms of anything else? Any final thoughts like you could like to share?
I just want to share that no matter how AI will take over, then I think I was talking to a colleague today, then it's going to be the metaverse. AI is going to be replaced by the metaverse or be in concert with that. That's another 3, 4 years from now.
Yep.
But just want to say that I still believe, I think I'll go to my grave, one of my last thoughts. It's all about relationships, relationships, relationships.
Relationships.
Period, period, period. End of story.
I 100% support you, everything you said. And I always say the best relationship you have to have first is with yourself. Then when you can do that with yourself and understand your own emotions through emotional intelligence, you can be a better example and a better resource for the people that you're building those relationships with. I love it. Love it.
Undoubtedly. Amen.
Love it. Love it. Well, William, thank you so much again for being here. We appreciate you. And again, we highly encourage everybody that's listening, reach out to him, get to know him. Again, look him up. Again, he was listed as the 2023 top best agent here in real estate, also involved in franchising. And again, we want to thank you listeners joining us each and every week here at Business Influencers. If you would like to see content that we have not shared here at this point, feel free to reach out to us at Chris@ChristopherSalem.com. We'd be more than happy to look at it and perhaps have it a subject matter expert in that area come on to talk about that particular area of interest. We want to wish everybody a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next week. Take care.